Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, not too much happened. We caught up on what Susada's been doing ever since she left, and with that being said, we ended up continuing on with the case, talking to Albert Hairbrain and finding some stuff from him, mainly Enoch Drebber's card. Enoch Drebber, engineer... And with a smear of machine oil on the reverse. So, yeah. Anyways. I guess let's just continue from here. Right, okay. After that we came to the experimentation stage to investigate. So, let us talk to Gina. Gina? We were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Yes, Toby. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume? I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind... Sorry, you can't go up there, Suze. Oh? It's like I told Ollie yesterday. Even I ain't allowed near that wreck. What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? Is that what you're thinking of? That's the one. That's why only them are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? Forensic something? The Forensic Investigation Team? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one? Yeah. But isn't it the case that the special suspension has been lifted? I think so. I don't really get it, but to be truthful with you, you're supposed to get permission from some bigwig as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something? I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps? That's the one, yeah. Apparently he's always watching the time or something. So, without Lord Strongheart's permission, we can't investigate on stage. Well, guess we'll have to get the permission then, won't we? Let's talk about today's trial. It was great, weren't it? I had a right laugh. It was a new one on me, that. You know, being in court and not spending no time worrying if I'm about to be found out. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in all your previous court appearances, didn't you? Yeah, and it always made things hard for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. Watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that Professor Dodgy experiment was a total fix. The Dodgy Professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. It's the boss I feel sorry for. So off to do the impossible. What do you mean? He's supposed to arrest out of the cub, ain't he? And in time for tomorrow and all. You know, the dodgy engineer. What's his name again? Mr. Drebber, you mean? Enoch Drebber? That's the one, yeah. So, the police were looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guess they would be. It's putting too much on the boss, if you ask me. He says he's giving him gut ache. Oh dear, but I do wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food. Huh. So, Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they have had any luck. He is really funny looking. Got two eyes what don't match. Stole a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Sorry? Who? You know, that Scowling Reaper was always glugging down glasses to that blood-red plonk. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. He's always at it for me, that cove. I don't know what he's always scowling about, mind. Probably wouldn't have been a good at boss as it goes. She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than the detective's trainee? The way I see it, if the choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-glugging demigod, you're equally badly off with both. I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that. Glad we've put that one to bed. Anyway, the point is, everyone at the Odds dead set on finding the fishy engineer. But there don't seem to be no clues to go on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all? Let's talk about Toby the dog, lass. Where'd you find that little butt thing, Gino? Oi! Don't be so flaming rude, Otto. Slight overreaction, don't you think? It ain't no mutt, Art. Toby's... how do they put it? Oh, yeah. A bona fide detective. Sorry? I've given him a proper title and everything. Is Chief Inspector Toby to you? More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh, so he's a police dog, is he? The police recruit dogs now? I thought that they're already being used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell after all. Well, some of them do. I have a fairly good sense of smell myself as it happens. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. That's nothing compared to this fella, Otto. Oh, really? According to what the boss said, once Toby has got a good whiff of your dross, you could just ascend to the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world? You mean he can swim? Mr. Naruhodo, I think you may have missed the point by a rather large margin. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. I'm telling you, Otto, there's going to be more and more dogs doing their bit for the police in the future. Yes, I agree. Right, one of these days, I'll be barking orders at us lot, not the other way around. Oh dear. Sorry, Gino. I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. Well, anyway, whatever you think of that, Toby here is the Britain's first police dog. I found him down the East End the other day. Someone had just chucked him out on the street. There you go. I knew she'd lifted him from somewhere. Oh, Gina. You're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals. Alright, well. We have a bit more to do here, but unfortunately we can't do it without going to the Lord Chief Justice's office. So, let's head there. You may have already surmised what we need to do, but I've chosen not to do that just yet because there's a lot more to experience here. Oh. Who's that standing beside Lord Strongheart? I wonder. I've never seen her before.
Ah, the young champion of the court. You had some success this morning, I understand. And you've thrown the entire government into disarray as a result.
Oh. You mean because of Professor Harebrain's experiment?
Sham science being demonstrated at London's Great Exhibition. The country's been made to look foolish, and now politicians are scrabbling to respond. Lord Van Zieks is in Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing.
Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. The special suspension that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happens, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with that scrap metal in no time.
It's scrap metal now, is it? Oh yeah, what voice do I give her? Until later then, Lord Strong. No, that's not it. That's not a good voice for her. You know what? I'll give her the same voice I give Giselle Brett. Until later then, Lord Strong. Nah, well, whatever.
Yes, thank you.
Who was that?
That was Dr. Courtney Sidney, Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner. She's leading the forensic investigation team's handling of this case. She was just delivering her report about the victim, in fact.
Oh, I see. How about Mr. Asman?
Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner's office to reevaluate its findings. I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you will have to ask her directly. You can find her in the forensics laboratory.
Ah, right.
Now, what were you here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time.
So, he's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore. Alright. Well, I guess we don't really need permission, do we? It's gonna be a note later today anyhow. What exactly is this forensics investigation team that you mentioned before?
The British Empire's police force must become the most exemplary in the world. For that to happen, it is imperative that we embrace the forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the forensic investigation team a year ago, now, unofficially of course, to pave the way.
Goodness, a year ago?
At next month's symposium, I intend to present the results of their work to the world. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensics division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly.
What do you mean?
For too long, these scoundrels have been a mockery of our legal system with false evidence and bribes. But London's scum is about to be rounded up and burnt in the fires of hell. I intend to see to it personally, by creating the finest police force the world has ever known, to protect our honor and our future.
Look at those eyes. He means every word.
Dr. Seethe is an extremely reliable coroner. When I officially establish the forensics division at Scotland Yard, she will run it as my right-hand woman. Now then, speaking of the symposium, Miss Mikotoba.
Oh, yes, my lord.
Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan.
Yes, that's right. I understand he will arrive at the beginning of next month. Are you acquainted, Lord Strongheart? With Professor Mikotoba, I mean.
It was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mikotoba very well.
Doctor? Well, he's a professor of science, it's true.
If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student.
It was the year I was born, so yes, 16 years ago in fact. Yeah, you're gonna go to a whole nother country right the same year your kid is born? Well, this is Japan we're talking about anyways.
Mikotoba was a young practitioner of forensic science, and Jigoku accompanied him as a young promising judge. I know it means punctual, punctiliousness and politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your part in any way.
I didn't think that we were, considering the fact that you're the one that's always late. Sorry, it's just... I think there was a line somewhere where it said he was late by a whole 11 hours to a meeting. Anyways.
Dr. Mikotoba studied forensics at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Sithe was also there then, as it happens.
Then Dr. Sithe knows my father, does she?
She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I've no doubt that they knew each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mikotoba was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total.
6 years? That's a long time to be studying abroad, is it? Wait, hold up. So, he left the same year his kid was born and stayed there for 6 years? What kind of homecoming did he have?
Yeah.
I lived with my grandmother in those years. So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for a whole 6 years? It was a rather turbulent time at home. Oh. Perhaps father wanted a reason to get away. What do you mean? Why? Well, clearly something was going on at the time. I wanted to ask you about Lord Van Zieks, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a masked murderer known as the Professor who targeted nobles and royalty. Is that right?
You Japanese are a thorough lot. You've done your research well. Yes. And you could say it was that very incident that gave rise to the Reaper.
What? Why?
When his brother Clint Van Zieks was murdered, it was just after young Barak had graduated from the University of London and become a prosecutor. When obvious criminals who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing, rumors quickly spread throughout the capital. Londoners started to say that wherever Barak Van Zieks went, the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind.
Oh my word! So, Lord Van Zieks isn't the Reaper? It's the ghost of his brother?
Ever since that time, he has become a very aloof figure in London's legal circles.
Oh yes, Lord Strongheart.
Go ahead.
It's about Professor Harebrain's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains, if possible.
Are you well versed in science, then?
Not in the slightest. In fact, you could say I was barely aware of the subject at all until recently.
Well, the special suspension for illegally preventing investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Sithe's team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. But I suppose until then, there's no harm in you looking at the wreckage, and as long as you touch nothing.
Thank you. Being able to look at it is better than nothing. And I'll be able to see it too.
Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls.
We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you are so busy, my lord.
I have important matters to attend to in preparation for the symposium, you understand.
Alright, new location's been added. Let's see. Okay, so we can either go back to the experimentation stage, do whatever that Madame Tuss spells, or go to the forensics laboratory. Okay, well, I'm gonna say right now, the thing we need to do. Okay, the very last thing we need to do is at the experimentation stage. As such, I'm not going to investigate there for now. I'm going to investigate there last. And which means we might not even get it in this walkthrough. But, whatever. We'll see how this goes. Because I just kind of want things to flow into each other well. You know? So, anyways. I guess... we can either go to the forensics laboratory, or we can go to the Madame Tuspel's. I'm going to go to the forensics laboratory because Madame Tuspel's connects a little bit more to what we want. So, yeah. What is this place? Forensics laboratory, yeah? I believe this is it, Dr. Seethay's laboratory. That chemical smell rarely assaults the nose, and there's plenty to assault the eyes in here, too. It looks as though the doctor isn't here. But we're here now, so we may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? What a seasoned tourist you've become, Mrs. Sato. We could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any restless souls. Oh wow, sorry, it's just there's no music playing. So it's so unsettling. In a game that usually music is blaring out everywhere and such. Like someone's about to pop out at you. A table and a set of sharp tools. When you consider each in isolation, it all looks quite innocent. So why is it that when you put them side by side, they seem so horribly disturbing? It might be best not to ponder it too deeply. Seeing the large tome that's open on the desk does make me wonder, though. How can anybody concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemicals in the air? You'd either have to have a cast iron constitution, or a really terrible sense of smell. Here's a hint, it's both. Ooh, skeleton. Well, look at this. What a magnificent display case. The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen, and the intricate carving is a joy to behold. Western cabin makers really are very skilled, aren't they? Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside, Mr. Naruhodo? Mrs. Sato? Can't you tell that I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? It's how I cope. I'll be sure to remember that from now on. Why is there a random raven up here? Oh, that looks like an owl and a crow up there. Yeah, it's a crow? What's the difference? Well, I guess they're two different birds, but whatever. I know, and they haven't even twitched since we came in here. Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruhodo. Ugh, I was afraid you were going to say that. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open. Yes, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your Dharma doll on display in the office instead. Why would you taxidermy an animal? I mean, imagine a human getting a corpse getting its insides removed and stuffed. Like, and how do you even get the eyes all right like that? Do you just cut the brain stems out, then remove it, then put stuffing behind the eye? I don't understand that. And I don't understand why you would taxidermy an animal in the first place. Like, if you want to make a doll, like for example, the owl, you want to make a doll of an owl and it uses real owl feathers, then, you know, okay, that's fine. The owl's already dead. You know, that's it. But why would you go so far as to get the owl's dead body, cut open a hole, suck out its insides, stuff it like some like some teddy bear and put it on display. Like, I really don't get that. I mean, if you like taxidermy models, good for you, but whatever. I suppose this is Dr. Seethay's desk. Ugh, I would not like to work in a place like this. It's very tidy though, isn't it, Miss Naruhodo? Imagine how efficiently she must work. The lighting is poor, which is bad for the eyes, and the chemical smell can't be good for you. Not to mention the skeleton watching over you as you work, which is definitely bad for the nerves. Well, those are valid concerns, I suppose. I can just about cope with a one-eyed Dharma doll watching over me, but that's all. Is that everything? No, there's this. Look at all the bottles on the shelves in these cabinets. What an assortment of chemicals. Sorry, it's literally like 10:36 right now, so... These ones are labeled highly toxic. Ugh, that's worrying, because there are also things that look like salt and pepper shakers in there. Oh yes, and they actually say salt and pepper on them. The doctor probably spends a lot of time in this room, I suppose. Perhaps she has meals here sometimes. Life goes on, even when you're surrounded by death. Ain't that the truth? Alright, well, I don't think there's anything left for us here, is there? There's these. What is this? Those large jars seem to have pale things floating around inside them. I suppose they're fruit liquors or something. Or like pickled umeboshi plums we'd make back home. Father had jars like that in his laboratory as well. What was that? And we're back. Okay, sorry about that. Just something came up. I suspect they're human organs in a preserving solution. Probably as examples of some rare medical condition. Mrs. Sato, there are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine never to know about. Ever. Oh. So, as I said, I'm sure they're fruit liquors or umeboshi, aren't they? Of course. Well, coming here was rather pointless, wasn't it? Yeah, well. Let's head over to Madame Tuspel's. A little more time investigating here. Okay. That means I'm missing something important. But what? Why does she have a skull in a jar? Right? Whatever. Oh, this. Look at this big, thick book here. It appears to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigation team's spending, I think. Oh. What is it? It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... Well, one entry seems rather strange. Really? In what way? They're buying 500 scalpels every month. Well, yes, scalpels is what they use to cut into people. They kind of need them. 500? They must be working really hard on dissecting corpses. I don't know. Judicial autopsies are only carried out in certain special circumstances. And scalpel blades can be sharpened, too. It does seem a bit strange. You're right. 500 scalpels a month? What could they possibly be using all them for? Stacking them, I guess? What are you doing? Okay, who said that? Oh, it's the lady herself. Sorry, we had something we wanted to ask you, but you weren't here, so... So, you thought you'd snoop around? That's acceptable to you people from the East, is it? Well, what do you want? Lord Strongheart told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body. Mr. Asman's body, I mean. So we came to ask you about your findings, on Lord Strongheart's advice. Very well. If the Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I'll tell you our investigation revealed. But when we're done, you must leave immediately. Alright. So, you want to know what the forensic investigation team determined from its examination of the scene? The victim, Mr. O'Dia's men, who disappeared from the experimentation stage amid an explosion, and the Mr. As man who appeared moments later partway of the Crystal Tower, were without question one and the same person. That is the team's conclusion. But that can't be right. If it was an elaborate trick, we can only speculate about how it was carried out. Let's see if two people who looked very similar to each other were involved. They could have made it appear as if one single person had switched places, couldn't they? Nah, the DNA doesn't lie. Very true, but sadly, in this instance, that was not the case. The man who disappeared and the man who subsequently reappeared was the same person. The fingerprints at the scene make that quite evident. Ah, fingerprints. They're not yet officially recognized as forensic evidence in the British justice system, but one day they will be used as an investigative aid as a matter of course. Oh my, but then that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place. So, where does that leave us? My team was tasked with investigating, not drawing conclusions. Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, yet the body did move from one place to the other. This hasn't cleared anything up at all. If anything, it's made the whole thing even more of a mystery. Oh well, that's it then, I guess. Mama, what is this? Ah! Where did she spring from? And did she just call the doctor Mama? This is a lawyer, dear.
Oh!
Hello? To meet you. Pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm a defense lawyer. I'm Yunosuke now.
Mama,
Yes.
can I cut this one up?
What?
I've never seen an inside an Asian person before. I want to know what it's like.
Of course you can't. It's a live specimen, as you can very well see.
Boring.
I think I just had a near-death experience. Oh dear, Mr. Naruhodo, you're as pale as a corpse. Then let's leave before I'm mistaken for one. To Tuspells we go. And this will more than likely be the last place on this episode, which is fine. We have a whole thing to deal with next time, but hey. 23rd of October, Madame Tuspells. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home, via the confectionery. Being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mrs. Sholmes anywhere. That's strange. You should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Well, such is unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, well, thought he was here. I thought he'd be here still. This one's posture reveals his weakness. Sorry? The killer's stance leaves him wide open to attack. I'm quite sure I could see him off with the Susato takedown, then a Susato squash, and finally a Susato smash.
「
Susato smash. 'Susato smash'. 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 'Susato smash' Right. And if that doesn't render the opponent unconscious, a Susato Slam should finish him. A Susato Slam? Oh, I'm sorry, it's rather hard to explain. Leave yourself open slightly and I'll demonstrate. Absolutely not. Oh. The guy's gone. That says something. That old policeman isn't here now, obviously. Still can't believe he just happened to be on the jury, though. I had understood that London has a population of 6 million people, and yet... You do seem to run into the same people disproportionately often, don't you? Anything's over here? Oh, what a horrifying scene. A murderer caught in a grisly act. I know. And in case you were wondering, it's the one with the big knife that's supposed to be the killer. I don't think anyone would be any doubt about that, Shirley. And did you know that according to the description, the bathtub at the back has no particular significance? What? Really? I would have thought it was meant to show that the killer also worked in a bathhouse peddling criminal wares. Aha! We have a new theory. Yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you? The sign says it's the Madame Tussauds special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside. I know. Can't you believe it? Pay more money, as if we haven't been scared enough already. It's not my doing, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, what is with this? Little areas that are just nothing there, whatever. To the experimentation stage, then. We got the permissions, the proper permissions we needed, so let's go. Here's the scorching on the ground that you mentioned. Yes, and there's what's left of the green balloon's envelope. All clear evidence of the balloon that exploded on the day of the incident. Poor Professor Harebrain. I do feel sorry for him that his dreams have been shattered like this. Someone's well and truly burst his bubble, as it were. Ouch. I'm a bad person. Very well then. Oi, that's off limits up there. Oh, okay. Huh. We need special permission. Did he give us anything that was for permission? No. Okay. Am I missing something? I mean, there's that thing, but I'm not even sure if it's a good idea. I'm looking at something here. Oh, okay. Alright then. Alright, let us look at... Alright. So, I thought we were supposed to do this later on, but... Alright. Present Drebber's card to Gina here. About this, Gina. Yeah, I'm still learning my letters at the moment. On a new way to eat, so, if it ain't too much bleeding trouble... Actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important. Eh? How come? There's just dirty old smudge on the back, that's all. It turns out that this is very high quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent, apparently. You don't say. Let's have a whiff then. You sure? I don't smell nothing. No, we didn't mean that you should smell it. Oh, what? You mean Toby? His sense of smell is so good he can track people over the oceans, can't he? Professor Miguel informs us that this oil is unique to Mr. Trevor's workshop. I think he's picked up a scent. So you mean, if he follows the scent of this oil, Toby could lead us to that dodgy cove's workshop? That's right. That's exactly what we were hoping. Alright then, we'll give it a go. I'll just bar that. What? Wait, where did you... Oh, once a pickpocket. If I can lead everyone to that Drebber's workshop, I'll be the boss's boss for next week. Oh, yes, Gina. I'm sure you'll be promoted. Poor Gregson. Gina, we were actually hoping we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Didn't he say that already? Can't go up there. Oh. Yes. Didn't we go through this dialogue already? Has been lifted. Truthful with you. Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. Eh? You what? You've met him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him, he waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniveling. Tragic. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene for as long as we touch nothing. Oh yeah? Honestly. Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. So, you're still saying all this is above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, to the stairs. Off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina. Right then, Otto. Leave it to me. Sorry? We're gonna get going after that dodgy engineer calls out this minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty all the time. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina. Oh, right. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets in the neck. It'll be the boss. Poor Gregson again. Ready, Toby? Got that oil then, have you? Come on then, boy. See you later. I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to that swindler's workshop. Yes, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the Channel to France. Alright, well, I'm getting rather tired now, so I think I will end this early, because in my opinion it's better just to end things when you're feeling tired and try to push on through and make everything worse. So, yeah. I'll just stop here. Next time on the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, we will... What am I on? 22, 24, 16. Okay, here it is. Next time we're gonna go up there and we're going to explore the stage, and after that, hopefully Sholmes will be at Madame Tussauds by the time we're done with that. So yeah. Anywho, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.